We're halfway through the Premier League season, and it's now a trend to do your Premier League team of the season so far, or at least I think it's a trend. I saw Mark Goalkeeper do it, and he got views for that, so I want views, so I'm also going to do this. And if you are clicking on this video, I do appreciate it. It's the first ever thumbnail I've used my face. Let me know what you thought in the comments. It probably got 3 views. No one wants to click on this. But anyway, getting into the video. Before we do get into that really quick, though, I would appreciate it if you could like the video. Let's try to get 15 likes in the video, and if you are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe. And if you want to help out the channel that little bit more, you feel free to become a channel member. You get some nice little benefits. It's all there, link in the description, or just hit that join button. Right, getting straight into the team, and in goals I'm going with Nick Pope. He got relegated last season with Burnley, but I think he's been brilliant for Newcastle. He's been standout. In fact, they only got him for what, 10-12 million? It was about that, and he's been absolutely brilliant. Newcastle didn't concede a goal for about 4 months now. The World Cup was in between that, but 4 months is still very impressive. Sven Botman, Dan Burn, loads of Newcastle's defenders have been good this season, but Nick Pope has been standout for me anyway. Alisson's also been good, but he just plays for Liverpool, so that really brings him down because, well, he's conceded about 400 goals. But to be fair, he's been good. It's just the rest of his defenders don't know how to play football. Onto the right back spot, and I think Ben White's been a little bit overrated. I don't think he's been this absolutely amazing. I think he's been good, but the only fact people are rating him so highly is the likes of Trent. He's been poor. Reece James has been injured. People think he's a great right back because he has no real other competition. Diego Dallo was good for the first half of the season, then he picked up an injury. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has come in and been good. But someone who's consistently played all the games and has been brilliant, that's Kieran Trippier, another Newcastle player. Just to really let you know, if you are new to the channel, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but I've just been impressed with most of their team. I think most of them have been absolutely brilliant. Kieran Trippier especially. Going forward and defensively, I think all round Kieran Trippier has been brilliant this season. For me, Newcastle's best player. And we're 2 players in, and we already have 2 Newcastle players. My first centre-back is someone I ridiculed when he first signed in the Premier League. It's Lisandro Martinez. People thought he was terrible. I thought he was going to be terrible. I mean, look at him. Lisandro Martinez is also about this ball. His first 2 games were absolutely terrible. Man United lost to both Brighton and Brentford. It wasn't looking good. He was bullied by Ivan Toney, but similar to Ben White, who was bullied by Ivan Toney in his first Premier League game, he bounced back, and now he's been the best defender in the league. I think he's been absolutely standout. He also won a World Cup, and I know it doesn't really count. We're talking about the Premier League's team of the season so far, but I feel like it comes into account a little bit. And definitely just to boost my argument, I'm going to say Lisandro Martinez, a World Cup winner. He's been brilliant for Man United. And even though I thought it was very expensive at the time, the 50 million looks like it's been worth it. The second centre-back is technically a new signing, but he's always been an Arsenal player. But he came back from a loan at Marseille, and he has been standout. William Saliba. I'm surprised we're already 4 players in, and I haven't even talked about an Arsenal player yet, because all of them have been absolutely fantastic. As we talk, they're top of the league. It looks like they're going to go on to win the Premier League, and Saliba has been standout, and he's still only 21. If he stays at Arsenal for the next 10 years, he could definitely go down as a club legend. And even though there was some dodgy things at the start of his career with his attitude, he's definitely proved those haters wrong. He made Arsenal's defence a lot more solid alongside Gabriel, and he will partner Lisandro Martinez in this Premier League team of the season. For the left back spot, João Cancelo, he was brilliant for the start of the season. He's not even a Premier League player anymore because he fell out with Pep, and now he's not a Premier League player. He plays in the Bundesliga, so you can't really have him in this team. But someone I think who's been consistently brilliant throughout the season is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw always seems to do this. He has a brilliant season. He had a brilliant season under Ollie a few years ago. Then went to the Euros with England. He was fantastic. Even scored in the final. Then he had a very bad season at Man United, but last season everyone was bad at Man United bar Ronaldo. He's now gone. Based on the way things are going, he won't be anywhere near this team next season because that's just the way it seems to be with Luke Shaw. But this season, it's been his season. He's been brilliant. Standout for Man United, and he gets in this Premier League team of the season. I don't know how. Ask me a year ago when Man United were 7th that I would be saying 3 Man United players would be in this Premier League team of the season so far. I would have laughed at myself. I would have thought I've gone insane. Maybe I've become a Man United fan. That's not it. It's just the fact they have Casemiro in their team now. United went from Scott McTominay to Casemiro. There's a bit of a difference. He has been standout for Man United this season. Every single game he plays, he's been absolutely brilliant. Bar a recent dodgy red card, he's not put a foot wrong. When he's competing with the likes of Fabinho, who's been worse than Scott McTominay, and that's really saying something, and it is true, it really isn't hard for Casemiro to get into this team. Of course, you have to mention players like Rodri, but I think Casemiro's just been better. Casemiro's been the standout defensive midfielder. My second midfielder, I'm going to go with Martin Odegaard. He has been absolutely unbelievable this season. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Best midfielder in the league for me. Defensively, he's good. Going forward, he's good. He's a fantastic midfielder, and he's showing what he showed when he was at Real Madrid. He was that teenager with so much potential. Now he's showing that for Arsenal. He's top of the league, and he looks like he's going to be a Premier League winner. I've watched a few of these Premier League team of the season videos, and a lot of people have left out Kevin De Bruyne. He's had a bad season, but That's because he's Kevin De Bruyne. Even Kevin De Bruyne with a bad season is still one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Now, I know I said Odegaard's been the best midfielder in the league this season. You look overall, not just the best midfielder, the best footballer over the last couple of seasons, it's by far and away Kevin De Bruyne. The only player for me that comes close in the entire league is Virgil van Dijk, who hasn't had a great season this season. He was good enough last season, and the other season, well, he didn't have a leg. De Bruyne has absolutely stand out. He's got loads of assists this season, mainly because he has Haaland up front, but also the fact he can just cross a ball in with absolute ease. Easily gets in his team, even if it's a poor season. It's just a poor season for Kevin De Bruyne standards. Any other midfielder, they're doing brilliant. For me, right wing was between Miguel Almiron and Bukayo Saka. Both have been very good this season, but I'm purely going to edge with Bukayo Saka because he's top of the Premier League. I also feel like Almiron was good for about 8 weeks, and after the World Cup, he just wasn't that great. He scored a few goals since, but his form has definitely dipped. While Bukayo Saka was brilliant last season, and he's consistently kept that on and probably went up a notch. Saka has developed into such a fantastic player under Mikel Arteta. He's only going to get better, and it looks like he's going to be a Premier League winner by the end of this season. That is living the dream, isn't it? Because he's a local Arsenal lad. He supports Arsenal. So to be at his age, being absolutely fantastic, being a key player to win the Premier League, well, that's just the dream, isn't it? Striker, and there's no real doubts here, it's Erling Haaland. He scored goals for fun. He's going to score about 50 goals this season. That's not even a joke. That's not even an over-exaggeration. If he keeps going the way he's going to score 50 goals. I thought he would be competing for it. Harry Kane would be up there. Mo Salah would be up there, but Mo Salah's fallen off a cliff. Harry Kane's had a decent season. Haaland is comfortably winning the Golden Boot, and by the end of the season, they're going to name the actual trophy after him. Without a shadow of the doubt, Harry Kane's been good this season. Ivan Toney's been good this season. Mitrovic has been good this season. Haaland has just been a different animal. Without a doubt, it's him. Left winger, and this is probably recency bias because he didn't start the season quite off the same way, but it's going to be Marcus Rashford. I know it's not his celebration. People have done it before him, but look, he's made it popular, and that's the main thing he's done this season. But he's also scored a few goals. One of Man United's key players. He looks like a different player to the one last season, and a similar player to the one 2 seasons ago. But like I said with Luke Shaw, every Man United player was terrible last season, bar Ronaldo, and we'll give it to David De Gea. He's scoring in consecutive matches. He's in my fantasy team, which really is the biggest compliment any footballer can get. He's been absolutely superb. He started scoring goals for fun after the World Cup. I think he's going to continue this on and really get back to his best and probably be a starter for England at the next major tournament. But then all could change in half a season because it is only the Premier League team of the season so far. And let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And also let me know if I should start using my face in more thumbnails. Hopefully this video doesn't have 3 views. I wouldn't be surprised if it does because, well, no one wants to click on this. I'll say it again. Maybe this video has 10 million views because, well, I'm just so good looking. Well, to all 10 million of you, make sure to leave a like on the stream. I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe. And again, if you really want to support the channel, feel free to become a channel member. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm not doing the Rashford celebration. I'm trying to do the outro. I'll see you in the next one.